everyone, it is Mrs. Sullivan, and today we are working on our Google form that is going to be your survey for the Observation Skills Project. So in your Google Drive, you are going to select New, and then you're going to go to More, and this is where you'll find your Google form. You click on Google Forms, it will bring up your new untitled form. So the first thing we need to do is give our form a name. So we are going to call it the Observation Skills Project. And your name. Then what we need to do is click up here at the top to actually force it to copy the name you just gave your survey to the actual file that you're going to see in your Google Drive. So in your form description, we're going to give some directions to your participants saying, please, something along the lines of like, please complete this survey about the optical illusion or selective attention test you just observed. Okay. Now, one thing that you can actually do that makes this much easier on your participants is you can actually add the video directly into your survey. So if you were doing a selective attention test and you were going to choose maybe the very original with the gorilla test, we can insert this and say, watch the following video before answering the questions. Then you're going to be able to add your questions that I had listed in your assignment. So first you're going to need your participant's name. Now, one cool thing about our Google form is that it is going to automatically change your question type so that it makes it a little bit easier for you as you're moving along. Make sure that these are required questions that your participants have to answer in order to move on. Then you're going to add your other questions like, where were you when you watched this video? If you're doing an optical illusion that's not a video, if it's just a photo, you can also insert a photo by clicking on this item here. So if we're looking at the where were you when you watched this, we want to give them some broad options. We don't want a specific address or store that they were in. We want to know categories that are going to help us. We could say, were you home? Were you at work? Right now, you all don't have school as an option, so you could have other. And the way to add other that makes it the best is just click on this, and it allows them to type in what their other choice was so that you can actually view that better. So again, remember to make your choices required. Then you're going to ask how many people were around you when you watched this video. So this is trying to default to a short answer, but I want to actually make it a multiple choice. So I want to say that there were no other people around, that there were 1 to 2, that maybe there were 3 to 5, or 6 or more. Then we need to ask some questions about what they saw. So then, since this one is asking how many times the ball was passed in the video, I'm going to include that question here. So how many times was the ball passed? So you're asking questions about what they were supposed to be paying attention to. You can give them multiple choice, or you can give them just a short answer for them to fill it in. That's going to be up to you, and it'll depend on which of the selective attention tests or optical illusions you chose. Then you can add another question that says, did you see the gorilla? Right? Or did you see whatever the trick was? It is going to suggest whether you want to add yes, no, and maybe. If I click add all, I suggest getting rid of the maybe. You really don't want to have any gray area here. They either saw the gorilla or they didn't. All right. So you also need to add a question about how they think this affects the reliability of eyewitnesses. And it will default to paragraph. Once you've filled in your other required questions based on the assignment page that you were just on, you will be able to send this to your participants. Now, you are supposed to get 20 people to complete your survey. So that means you probably need to send it to more than 20 people to make sure that you get enough responses. You'll be able to monitor your responses here. You will see the answers to your questions fill in here, but we're also going to create a spreadsheet by clicking this green icon. It'll say create a new spreadsheet, and it will give it the same name as what you named your actual Google form. And when you put create, it will show you the timestamp of when they took it. It'll have the questions that you put in here, and you'll be able to use this to help analyze your results as part of your project. So you will need to turn in this Google Forms response sheet as part of your assignment as proof that they filled it out. So that is you're going to give me the link to your actual form to show what it looked like to your viewers and your results sheet. So let's look back at our Google Forms that we know how to send it. So Boone County does something a little weird with our student and teacher accounts in that when we go to send our form, sometimes it's going to try to automatically collect their Boone County Schools email address. You may have noticed that when you try and share your Google Docs, that sometimes it's only allowing people who are in the Boone County network to do that. So as a networked account, we have some kind of weird things there. So you can send this to individuals by typing in their email address here, but the most easy way to do this is to click on our link option. So if you click right here on the link icon, it gives you a shareable link that you can use to give people your survey quickly. You can also click this shortened URL, and this will allow you to send a little bit easier. You want to copy this, and then you can text it out to people. They can do it on any device. It's pretty user-friendly. It shouldn't be too difficult. You do also have the ability to share your form on Facebook and Twitter directly from your share panel here. So if you wanted to post this up to try and get your Facebook friends or Twitter followers to complete it, that's also an option. Do realize, though, when you're sending this to friends, tell them it's for a school project and that your teacher is going to be reading the responses. Every now and then, we all have that one friend who puts something really goofy. Make sure if somebody puts something inappropriate, you can actually go through and delete that response so that we don't have to have any awkward conversations about what your friend said. Now, one other thing before you send this out, I suggest you do is click on preview. So when you click on preview, this will show you exactly what the survey will look like to your viewers. So ours so far looks like this. You can customize the appearance and decide if you're happy with just the plain, or if you would rather, let me show you how. You can customize your theme by choosing a header image. You can change the color of the borders here or the background color. You can even change the font. Be careful with these fonts. Some of these are really hard to read, and you don't want to make it difficult for your participants to complete their task. So if you are having trouble with getting 20 people to complete your survey, please let me know. We're going to be working with a shorter deadline. So we're going to have Thursday to work on getting your survey sent out and getting some information collected. And then we'll be turning these in on Monday of next week. So make sure that you think about this when you're making your choice about, can you get 20 participants in this amount of time?